Hey there, scrappy friend, Suzanne here in the studio today to talk about the new Overstock offer from Close to My Heart. This is a chance for all Close to My Heart customers to get a peek at the kinds of special products they have been offering to their VIPs. They have Overstock on several items, and let me talk about those individually and then show you what I think the best deal is even on an Overstock deal. Okay, first of all, we have the Flower Shop card kit. You'll be able to check that out in a separate video of mine on YouTube where I go through and I embellish those just a little bit more to step them up a little bit. They also have the VIP highlights Picture My Life cards. That was a workshop that did layouts as using a lot of the Picture My Life cards, but it looks like only the cards are available, as well as the matching stamp set for the VIP highlights. Also, they have the VIP Hip Hip Hooray Workshop. Not only do they have the workshop, which gives you 3 double page layouts plus 8 cards, you can get the VIP paper pack and sticker sheet separately, as well as that stamp set is also available separately. And one of their other workshops, the We Are Good Together, the stamp set from that is also available. These items are available from July 15th through August 31st, but let me tell you what I suggest that you might do to get a really good deal. First, let's look at what's in that workshop. Okay, as we said, here is the stamp set. This is very cute. It's got thanks, happy hello, happy birthday, by the way, hooray on your special day, which can be used for celebrating a lot of things. It's got this nice border stamp, and then stars, presents, party favors, and this cute speech bubble with a smiley face. Very cute, as well as missing you. Card bases. These are slimline card bases, and there are 8 of them, and matching envelopes. These black stars, these are available separately. They were not an exclusive item to the stamp set. And then, of course, because we are doing layouts, they gave you 4 page protectors and, of course, the photo placeholders. If you're not really interested in the cards, I would suggest that you consider getting just the paper pack and sticker sheet, and let's go through it in great detail. Okay, let's take a quick look at the paper pack. Here is the sticker sheet. As you can see, it's got these bold, beautiful colors. The good life, love this, yay, this is my happy place, amazing. So this can really just celebrate life in general. It doesn't have to be to celebrate a particular occasion, although it certainly lends itself to celebrating a particular occasion. All right, let's look at the papers. Here we have, the first one is this diagonal stripe, and I will tell you that the featured colors here are Avocado, Ballerina, Bluebird, Carolina, Sundance, and Wild Berry. Isn't that pretty? I love the zip strip, don't you? You get 2 sheets of that double-sided paper. The second selection is going to be this dot paper, multicolored dots, great Wild Berry zip strip on this one. And the reverse of that is this Sundance. Hopefully you can see that there are squares that are made out of dots on this paper. Very cool. So these are very, very versatile patterns. Okay, and then here is the last one. It is this avocado grid with this Bluebird and Carolina zip strip that matches the reverse side, which is these little arrowed rows. And if you remember right, that goes nicely with the stamp set that was included in the kit. Okay, here we see that we have the cardstock that came in the workshop kit, and they gave us 3 White Daisy, 3 Black, 3 Wild Berry, 2 Bluebird, 1 Carolina, 1 Ballerina, and 1 Avocado. If you didn't want to order the workshop and just wanted to do the paper pack and sticker sheet, you can then order a custom 12 pack of cardstock where you get to pick the cardstock 2 pieces at a time. So you could order 2 of the avocado, 2 of the ballerina, 2 Carolina, 2 bluebird, and 2 wild berry, and 2 black. That would be the 6 colors you would need. Although they gave us 3 of the wild berry, if you're not doing the cards, you use a very small piece of this, which you could probably get from a hidden scrap. So that's what I would do if I were you. And if you do that, if you order just the paper pack and sticker sheet and the custom 12 and the black stars, you can basically get all of the workshop materials you really need for only 45% of the workshop price. Yes, for just $26.40. So if you think that's a good idea and you're not a VIP, but you would like to see what you might be able to get as far as the VIP product, then why don't you go ahead and order this from me if you don't already have a maker. I'd really appreciate it. I also have my own rewards program, which I will inform you of as soon as you make an order from my business website. Okay, now I am going to take the workshop and go ahead and make up the layouts and see what I can do with the extras, okay? And I'm back. Here are the finished layouts from the Hip Hip Hooray Workshop. Okay, here's the first one. Let me give you a couple of quick tips. If you want to save even more paper, when you cut this, these 2 strips go across the page and then a third of the way on this one. You could actually just cut strips long enough to tuck in these 3 spots and save yourself quite a bit of paper. I wish I had thought of that before. Also, if you're not getting the stamp set, you can just leave this as a placeholder for whatever title you want to put there. Hooray on your special day. You could just use some small letters or some other stamp out of your stamp set. If you don't have the stamp set, so you don't have this arrows, then you could easily use this zip strip. You have the whole 12-inch zip strip here, and although you can't really curve it as well, you could certainly use that instead. Curving this was a little bit tricky and I made a mistake, so you will see that that's why I have this particular sticker right here. They suggest that you use your ink pad and a water brush to flick on some Sundance ink onto the background, but I actually decided to go ahead and use the Sundance shimmer brush. These are super easy to make backgrounds with, so I'd highly suggest that. Also, here, this line, they may have told you to do this in black, but one of the great things that Close to My Heart added in the last catalog are these Le Pen pens, like markers, thin line markers. I have been using these for years and years and years, long before I was really even into scrapbooking, because you can often find these at nice stationery stores. So I really like these, and I like that Close to My Heart is now carrying them. One other quick tip, these round star emblems where the star is punched out of the middle, you're backing those with the Sundance paper. This happens to be a 1-inch diameter circle, and this is a 3/4 inch diameter circle. So if you happen to have those punches, easy peasy, no hand trimming. Okay, and then the other thing was they had us use one of these Starburst to actually do a little stamping as well. You just connect this to your block with a little piece, a little glue dot, and then ink it up real good and stamp it. Now, because it's not meant to actually be a stamp, you're not going to get a real solid impression, but I think it looks pretty good, especially if you've done splattering too. Okay, that is the first double layout. Moving right along. The second one is fun. Okay. The diagonals work great on this paper. This is pretty much done to spec, although I have added in a few of my leftovers from the Wild Berry Blast special, I don't know, a few weeks back. I added in a piece of cardstock here, a scrap, and another one here. I just thought that this, for some reason, this looked like it needed a little more weight at the bottom, so I went ahead and did that. You also have enough of this paper here that you could use that same paper to do this and this as well. Otherwise, I added in a couple of hearts. Doesn't that look good? I like the way that one turned out. Okay, going to the third one. Here we have this. Okay, here this happy is stamped, so if you don't have the stamp set, you can maybe use this priceless and make it Priceless Memories as your title. I actually wanted to use this particular sticker, so I added it in here and with a little arrow pointing to my journaling strips. I also added in a few wild berry dots just to play up the wild berry, as well as 2 chipboard butterflies. I also changed this journaling block around a little bit since I had journaling strips over here. I thought it would be fun to use this Good Old Days sticker at the bottom. Because it seemed to go real well with If Time Could Stand Still. And then I doubled up the blue zip strip in the middle. Just to, again, to tie it in, you have some blue here, so I thought it'd be nice if there were some over here too, and I just doubled it up. And then a couple of these, I mentioned the butterfly chipboards were from the other thing. Again, these are just extras that I had on hand, so I'm adding them in. You don't necessarily have to do that. And of course, you know, I'm not big on tearing paper, so I've just done a decal edge on these 3 edges instead of doing a full-blown tear. Again, just personal preference. Also, if you didn't want to use a black background, you could use any of the colors in here. You could use pink, you could use white, you could use Sundance. All of those colors would work for the background if you're not a black cardstock background kind of person. Okay, so I had quite a bit of stuff left over, including a whole sheet of this and, well, 2/3 of the other sheet. So I decided to use these stripes to make up this final layout. And then I used the eye-catching detail of these overlapping squares as inspiration that I got from the cards out of the workshop directions. Also, here you'll see I have both of my full strips of this sort of laid brickwork kind of pattern on the Sundance. Technically, half of that should have gone on this prior workshop or layout. Instead, I just used a scrap of the Sundance there instead, so that I could maintain the 2 full strips for my last layout. Okay, as far as laying these down, these are 2-inch squares. In hindsight, if I maybe had gone to 1.5 or 1 3/4, I might have been able to get the full one on, but you never know until you kind of get it all laid out, and I wasn't gonna obsess over it. The other thing that I did is, in order to lay these out, each time I laid down a square, then I would use a ruler to go from tip to tip, and then I would butt the next one up. And then I just overlapped them like that. I had actually drawn a pencil line down the middle so that as I was laying down the bottom tip, it was always going to be on the pencil line so I could make sure I was straight. And then, of course, I did a long dashed stitch line on both of them so that it makes it seem more connected to the paper. I opted not to do any actual embellishing on these 2 rows. I thought they were good as they were. I really like this. This has that same kind of feel of a sort of overlapping vertical stripe, but it's more organic because I've used these 3 stickers from the sticker sheet. I've also added in a couple of extras from my Berry Blast, but of course you could just use pieces of your scrap paper for that and cut it or tear the edges so that it looks like washi. The same thing here. And then I've got a couple of strips down here at the bottom for journaling. I had plenty of Sundance in my stash, so I decided instead of using a white overall mat that I would go ahead and use the Sundance to tie into the strip, but white would work just as well. In fact, if you didn't have any wild berry left, you could use wild berry as the base here as well. Okay, and then of course these are the last style of stars that were included in that star acrylic pack. That is a really good value because we've used sort of different stars on each of the layouts. At this point, I was down to having just a few stickers as far as arrows. I think an ampersand and some parentheses. So those will go into my Close to My Heart sticker stash, and I will be all set. Okay. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope you'll bop over to my blog and look at all the details about the Overstock offer from Close to My Heart that starts today, Friday, July 15th. And I really encourage you, if you're going to want to do the money saving tip that I'm giving you, that you go ahead and order your custom pack, 12-pack of cardstock in July, because I don't believe that wild berry will be available in the custom 12 after August 1st when the new core catalog comes out, because wild berry was the color of the year and it is retiring. Okay. Thanks so much for your time and attention. I would love to be your maker if you don't already have one. Check out my blog and my other online presence. Bye for a bit.